Hello and welcome to a new video from Stein Investments. Today I'd like to talk about FX Power, an amazing tool we've been working on for around 10 years now, starting back then with the Analyzer Pro. Meanwhile we had then the FX Power, the first version, and now with FX Power NG, the third version, which has become more excellent over time. So what does FX Power do in detail? It determines the individual strengths of each currency you can see here, or even gold if you want. It does so by analyzing each of the underlying currency pairs related to a specific currency. So if we use the US dollar here, for example, FX Power analyzes the charts for the Euro US dollar, Pound US dollar, Aussie dollar, US dollar, Kiwi against the US dollar, and so on. So it's always monitoring all the US dollar pairs to determine the individual strengths of the US dollar against all the other currencies. And the same is true for all the other currencies as well. As a result, you'll get these panels with the real-time currency strengths and these history lines to see how the individual strength of the currencies changed over time. As we can see here, for example, the Swiss franc and the Japanese yen are dominating the market the entire day since the London opening, and they show no weakness. This is pretty interesting, and this information helps you to identify power trends, as we can say so. Yeah, you can spot at a glance which currency to buy and which currency to sell on the opposite side. A huge factor of its popularity is the flexibility of FX Power, and you can see here why. Because we provide drop-down lists with pre-configured analysis periods. So if you choose 12 hours, for example, then FX Power will consider the last 12 hours of data to determine the currency strengths. And with the unique option to use multiple instances in one chart, you can combine several analysis periods for long-term trends, mid-term or short-term trends in one chart and even in one sub-window. You can easily manage what you want to see on chart just inside the panel here. You can use the focus mode, and then FX Power will focus only on the underlying currency pair. This is EURUSD in this example. You can also hide specific currency lines if you want. Then the US dollar is hidden. You can enable it directly or just switch back to seeing all. And the symbol list is a great addition as well if you want to browse through your symbols. If you spotted a great opportunity and want to quickly navigate to this symbol, you can do so as well. We mainly use a triple instance setup, which contains a long-term trend analysis. This is the 1 week here. Then a midterm power trend analysis is the 1 day here. And the short-term 4 hour, which reflects the short-term dynamic, which is also important if it comes to timing of your entries and exits of the trade. And the entire setup is inspired by a very popular user of our trading community, and it shows how important it is to get some feedback from our community, because we can't even imagine what you have in mind and how you use our tools. And very often you are a great inspiration. And once he showed me how he uses FX Power, I started to use it ongoing, and you'll probably know it from my morning briefing posts, and because it makes totally sense. It's really amazing. And based on this triple instance setup, we started to build our single currency overview. And this is easily done by just hiding one side of the currency pair, and then you'll have only the US dollar lines here. And now let's minimize them. And this brings us to this window you'll probably know from our first market analysis video. And here we'll get an overview of every single currency, in this case sorted by their correlation. So Euro and British Pound are moving usually along US dollar and the Canadian dollar, Swiss franc and the Japanese yen, and the Aussie dollar and the Kiwi are usually moving side by side. So this overview is very helpful to identify at a glance which currencies are weak across all their trends, not just a single one, because that's sometimes is irritating. We want to know how stable these trends are and what is the best pair or the best currency to buy and against which currency to sell to get the high probability trading opportunities. So what does this overview show us? We can clearly see Euro and British Pound are more on the strong side of the scale. Here in the middle we see the 0 level, which is neutral, where buy and sell is balanced. Here is -50, here is +50. These are the extremes of the scale. Then on the weak side we have the US dollar and the Canadian dollar, which is currently strengthening. This overview is just to spot which is good to buy and which is good to sell. So Euro USD is pretty self-explaining. Pound USD is the same. Euro against the Canadian dollar is the same. So I would say let's switch to the corresponding chart and let's have a detailed analysis. Now we are in the Euro US dollar chart with our triple instance setup and the same analysis periods, 4 hours, 1 day and 1 week. And we can clearly see that here are the lines pretty mixed. US dollar long term was on the weak side, while the shorter periods have been on the strong side. And here the picture started to clear up and the lines split apart from each other. And that's what we call a breakout setup. And we already published a complete strategy description for our breakout system. And this is picture perfect breakout setup because we have here the line split. The US dollar is below 0. The Euro lines are all above 0. And you can trade it straight away from here. And it seemed to have stopped here at the, or making a break at the 80% ATR of Euro USD. That's almost 55 pips. With a stop loss of maybe 20, 25 if you add some security. On the British Pound against the US dollar, it's pretty much the same picture. Here the lines have been still mixed with no clear direction, and then they split with all pound lines above 0 and all US dollar lines below the 0 level, and we see a move not as impressive as on the Euro USD, but you can see there is almost no drawdown. You can just pull the trigger on a long trade and you are good to go. If you want to configure a similar setup for your chart with these triple instances and so on, we do have tutorial videos on our YouTube channel. This is an entire playlist with every single step you have to do it like that, or you just visit our central style investment page where you'll see the links to the individual system descriptions, and there we have added templates, so you can just download the template, load it on your chart, and if you have the tools installed, you'll see them directly on your chart within just a few seconds. So some of you may ask if they can get an alert directly from FX Power NG if such interesting breakout system opportunities appear. And I have to say yes and no. Yes, because we have a solution, and no, because it's not possible with the indicator standalone. That's related to kind how these indicators operate. They can just consider the data they calculate themselves, and then they check the conditions and can give you an alert. And there are several options for currency strength and weakness and delta alerts and what else. You can check it out and see what it gives you. But as soon as you combine instances or want even combine it with FX volume and other information, you need to use a third-party tool, which we also developed and offer you, and this is our custom alerts tool. It allows you to enable the indicators you are currently using. Here, in this case, it's FX Power NG, and there you see the settings. You can define which analysis periods you use. If you want to include gold or not, you can even use custom periods. If you want an analysis of maybe 17 minutes or 13 hours or whatever, you can set it here. And Custom Alerts provides pre-configured alerts for the trading systems we already published on our page. So you will get the tools from us, you'll get the system description, and with Custom Alerts, you'll even get a ready-made solution that gives you a pop-up message, smartphone notification, or email, or whatever, to keep you up to date. You don't have to monitor the charts all the day or every market all the day. Just run one instance of custom alerts, configure the alerts you want to be informed about, and you'll be up to date. Details about the settings here and what all these parameters mean and what alerts are possible, you will find on our Custom Alerts FAQ, which is also linked at our Stein Investments page. So that's it for now with our tour of the possibilities and opportunities you get with FX Power NG. Really an outstanding tool that plays a key role in all our trading systems. And in case of questions, just drop us a line here directly below this video or send us a message on MQL5, and we are happy to assist. Thanks for watching. See you soon and catch you in the next one. Bye bye.